Hi, my name is Ann Boucher, and I'm going to present my research titled Career Technical Education and Student Perception of Preparedness. This fulfills the requirement for Education 552 through the University of Findlay. My introduction was guided by the million-dollar question of how can we better prepare our students to be successful. I'm a secondary science teacher, therefore my focus was on what's the role of secondary schools. Some proponents of traditional high schools would say purely academics, whereas career tech supporters would argue that we need to prepare our students for jobs and the workforce. So within my introduction, I also found that there was a career technical education shift, that it was no longer the divide of one or the other, academic or workforce, and that career tech schools were really trying to blend and make their academics as current and as equal as traditional high schools, but also offer that career program choice. And then also career technical student perception of preparedness. Did those students actually feel prepared entering the workforce or going to college from going to their career program? Did that better prepare them for their future? Problem statement and hypothesis. The problem of focus was an unprepared workforce with increasing economic demands. Also, the career tech education students versus their traditional student counterparts, which are often compared against each other, test scores, attendance, dropout rates, etc. So hypothesis, if career technical education is an effective strategy, then students will have high perception of preparedness through 4 categories: curriculum, extracurricular activities, facilities, and program instructor knowledge. The independent variable, career and technical education, wherein each student is enrolled in a career program. The target population was junior students in a career tech ed setting in Southeast Central Ohio. Dependent variable, career tech students' perception towards the categories of curriculum, extracurricular activities, facilities, and program instructor knowledge. So research evidence, breaking the stigma, and that it no longer had to be a plan B for students, that students could also be college bound and attend a vocational school. So the educational reform, which career tech schools really pride themselves on, was the support of translating education to real life application and making what students were doing in the classrooms relevant and meaningful. So vocational training advantages, again, were the real life application and the setting. A lot of vocational schools, half their day is set up as the program, and then the other half is the students' academics fulfilling their graduation requirements. So workforce ready and college bound. 13% of all high school graduates who participated in a program combining CTE and academic requirements were as prepared as their college prep class-taking peers. And then program opportunities. These programs that are listed, high schools that work, tech prep, career and college transitions initiative, and Project Lead the Way, were all federally funded and, again, pushing students towards pursuing those skills and careers. So student populations was another point that was discussed heavily with career tech. There are 6 million public school children that receive special education services, and career tech ed has been found to really be a great option for those spec ed students. Lower socioeconomic students that participated in CTE also were associated with rates of employment, higher employment during and after school, and then lower dropout rates and positive effect post-graduation for these difficult populations. So the movement for preparation of college and careers pretty much stems from evaluations now from schools that are based on attendance rates, based on GPA, graduation rates, and labor market outcomes. So we saw the shift in resources and money trying to meet all those criteria. So there's no longer a divide between academic and career education. Traditional and vocational schools have to be on board with this. Student voice and choice. Okay, current buzzword right now in the education world refers to lessons that have real-world application to these students beyond the content. Further depth of knowledge and retention of material, and again, meaningful, and allow students that are passionate to be able to pursue that passion. So research design, 3 instruments. Current high school student survey was the first instrument. It was a 10-question survey which indicated perception of preparedness in curriculum, extracurricular activities, facilities, and instructor knowledge. The age range of students was 16 to 18 years old. 11 students, 1 male, 10 females, and 2 of those students had 504 plans. This was a Southeast Ohio public school district and took place during the 2017-2018 school year. The second instrument, a post-graduation CTE parent-student survey that was administered and sent out by the district office. There were 5 parent responses and 11 student responses, 20 total questions. This spanned multiple programs, and it took place for those students following the 2017 school year. And then the last instrument was student observations. 3 junior exercise science students, 1 female, 2 males. The observation duration was 10 minutes, and I was looking for positive or negative feedback in regards to the student experience in their academic programs, their academic courses, and their lab programs. So the sample of instruments, the student survey, question 1 and 2 are regarding that first category that I explored of curriculum. Question 1 was looking at the curriculum in the lab program and whether it was challenging and appropriate. Question 2, looking at the academic curriculum, whether it was challenging and appropriate. And all questions, students selected either agree, neither disagree, or agree, and then disagree. Question 3 and 4 were about extracurricular opportunities. Question 3, the students explored the opportunities or stated that they believed that they had many opportunities. Question 4 was that those leadership opportunities prepared them well for skills in that career. Question 5 and 6 were about resources and equipment. Question 5, whether the student wished that they had better resources and equipment in their lab. And then question 6 was whether the student felt that the equipment that they were using in their lab was what was current in their field. Question 7 and 8 was about the instructor, lab instructor, and whether that instructor had proper training and experience. And then question 8, whether that instructor was able to teach the material. Question 9 and 10. Question 9, whether being enrolled in the CTE program had better prepared them for the workforce. And then question 10, whether being enrolled in the CTE program had better prepared them for college. The second instrument, postgraduate survey. Question 1 and 2 are personally identifying the student, and then question 3 and 4 were omitted as they identified the school and the district. Question 5 asked whether the student had taken a state licensing test or industry certification test. Question 6, did they obtain their state license or their industry certificate? Question 7, did that student earn a GED or a high school diploma? 8, upon graduation through October through December, were they involved in an apprenticeship program? If they were, for question 9, was it related to their CTE program? From question 10, were they in the military? And then question 11, if they were, was it related to their career tech program? Question 12, were they enrolled in college? And then 13, was it a 2 or 4 year college? Question 14, what was their major or minor? Question 15, was their major or minor directly related to their CTE program? Question 16, were they enrolled in an adult workforce program? And then question 17, if they were, was it related to their high school career tech program? So question 18, 19, were they employed post-graduation through October and December of 2017? Question 19, if they were, was it related to their CTE program? And then question 20 was reserved for extra comments. The third instrument, the student observations, question 1 and 2 were about the CTE program and how many times the student spoke negatively or positively. Question 3 and 4 were about academic courses and how many times the student spoke negatively or positively. Question 5, did those students discuss future plans in their CTE field? So procedures, the high school student survey was administered during the week of March 19th. The results of the survey were tabulated electronically March 23rd. Postgraduate surveys were received from the district office March 8th. They were evaluated the week of March 12th. The student observation checklist was completed on March 23rd, and responses were put into an electronic chart. So plan for data analysis. Data from student surveys were electronically tabulated and evaluated using the Likert scale. Data obtained from the postgraduate previous CTE students or parents was electronically tabulated, and the data retrieved from the observation checklist was compiled electronically, and like comments were grouped together, and the sum of the categories was calculated. So comparison of results. Table 1 shows results from question 1 and question 2 of the student survey. Question 1, 10 students agreed that their lab program was appropriate. Excuse me. Their curriculum in their lab program was appropriate. 1 student disagreed. 9 students for question 2 agreed that their academic curriculum was appropriate. 1 was neutral, 1 disagreed. For table 2, question 3 and 4 was the student perception of extracurricular activities. 8 students believed that they had plenty of extracurricular opportunities. 1 student was neutral, 2 disagreed. Preparation of skills. 9 students believed that those extracurricular opportunities prepared them for those skills. 2 were neutral. Student perception of proper resources and equipment. 4 students agreed that they wished that they had better resources. 4 disagreed. 3 were neutral. And then current equipment. 9 believed that the current equipment that they used in their labs was current in the field. 2 was neutral. So student perception of instructor knowledge. Proper training. 9 students for question 7 believed that their instructor had proper training. 2 were neutral. And then for teaching ability, same also. 9 agreed that their teacher did a tremendous job teaching it, and then 2 were neutral. Table 5 shows questions 9 and 10 with student perception of preparedness post-graduation. 10 students agreed that their CTE program prepared them for the workforce. 1 disagreed. And then for college preparedness, 6 students agreed. 4 were neutral, 1 disagreed. So for the comparison of results of the student observation checklist, 2 students spoke negatively about their CTE program, 10 spoke positively about their CTE program, 1 student spoke negatively about the academic courses, 5 spoke positively about the academic courses, and then 9 discussed future plans in the CTE career field. So for discussion, results indicate a definite relationship between career and technical education and student perception of preparedness toward the workforce. This was promising information because in order to meet the demands of a well-trained workforce, students need to be challenged before they graduate high school so that they can be successful and contribute to a healthy economy and the growing demands of the 21st century workforce. Future studies would do a specific analysis on each lab the students were from so that it could be tied back to a specific instructor to see if the negative or positive responses were all from the same lab with the same instructor, or if they were mixed between multiple labs with various instructors. Also retest the current juniors their senior year to see if their responses have shifted as they near graduation and enter employment. So for conclusion, overall, students perceive that they being enrolled in their career tech education had better prepared them for the workforce and college. Students had positive responses in all 4 categories assessed: curriculum, extracurricular activities, facilities, and instructor knowledge. The results provide evidence that given the proper factors as listed above, career technical education students' perception of preparedness is high and results in a more confident, stronger workforce and skilled economy.